Booker T emerged as a decorated star during WWE's acquisition of WCW in the early 2000s. With an achievement like being WCW Triple Crown Champion, he left a lasting mark on WCW's rich history. However, his transition to success in WWE faced numerous challenges. In 2003, Booker T confronted perhaps his toughest test when he battled Triple H for the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania 19. And despite being a 5-time champion, the storyline was marred by racial undertones, culminating in the infamous conclusion on the grandest stage. A prolonged pause after Triple H's pedigree led to Booker T's defeat, marking one of the most controversial finishes in WWE World Title match history. To rebound, Booker had to venture off to a different brand, reinvent himself in order to overcome one of the most embarrassing moments in history. But what if WWE had taken a different approach? What if instead of racial undertones, Triple H simply wasn't impressed by Booker's success in WCW? What if the story was Booker battling this adversity to prove that he was deserving of the world title opportunity? What if Booker went on to win the world title at WrestleMania? What would that path to success look like? Well, that's what we're going to be looking at today. This is how WWE should have booked Triple H versus Booker T at WrestleMania 19. We begin with the 20-man over-the-top rope battle royal that took place on February 24th, 2003. The winner of this match will challenge the champion Triple H in just 4 weeks' time at WrestleMania. And it comes down to the final four of The Rock, Rob Van Dam, the Big Red Machine Kane, and Booker T. All four of these men have a massive chip on their shoulder, and with an opportunity at the world title on the line, none of them are willing to hold anything back. And while Booker and The Rock are battling in one corner, Kane and RVD agree to team up and try to eliminate them. But in a shocking turn, Kane turns around and throws RVD out of the ring. Shocked after being thrown out by his own tag partner, RVD has an intense stare down with Kane. This gives Booker T the opportunity to take the advantage and toss Kane out of the ring. It now comes down to Booker and The Rock, and the two are giving it everything that they have, with The Rock getting the advantage by hitting a massive spine buster on Booker in the center of the ring. He sets Booker up for the people's elbow, but as The Rock is running the ropes, Booker quickly gets up to his feet and clotheslines The Rock over the top rope, eliminating him from the match. Booker has won the Battle Royal and will now challenge Triple H for the world title at WrestleMania. And Monday Night Raw goes off the air with Triple H and Ric Flair watching the match from their executive suite in the arena. The show kicks off with a behind-the-scenes encounter featuring Raw's general manager Eric Bischoff and the world champion Triple H. Triple H expresses his skepticism about the money-making potential of a WrestleMania match between himself and Booker T. And despite winning the Battle Royal last week, Triple H believes that Booker isn't ready for a world title match on the grandest stage. He suggests that Eric give the title shot to a more established main eventer in the newly reinvented People's Champ, The Rock. Enticed by the potential financial benefits, Eric agrees and announces that Booker T will put his championship opportunity on the line against The Rock in tonight's main event. Word of this announcement gets back to Booker T, and understandably frustrated, he decides to confront Bischoff and ask him if the rumors are true. Bischoff says that they are true, and despite his accolades in WCW, Booker isn't as much of a draw as The Rock, and therefore the title shot should go to somebody that will bring in more money for the company. Those words light a fire under Booker, and he goes into his match with the Great One with an enormous amount of intensity. These two go to absolute war in this match, putting it all on the line. Booker goes deep into his arsenal and pulls out a massive Harlem Hangover for a count of 2. The Rock fires back with a spine buster, followed by the People's Elbow. 1, 2, Booker kicks out. The Rock then drags Booker over to the announce table and is about to put him through it when you hear a familiar sound. It's Stone Cold Steve Austin. Nobody has heard from Austin since he took his ball and went home. Rumors have started to stir that he was making his way back to WWE, which led to The Rock calling him out on the previous episode of Raw. This distraction gives Booker just enough time to recover and nail The Rock with a bookend through the announce table. Booker sends The Rock back into the ring, nails him with a scissor kick, and gets the win. But Booker's night isn't over. In comes Triple H's stooges Batista and Randy Orton to dish out some damage on the 5-time. Booker's teammate Goldust comes down to the ring to try to make the save, but the power of Batista's just too much. He sends Goldust flying to the outside, and then Orton and Batista nail Booker with a Batista bomb followed by an RKO. A massive message is sent by Evolution as Raw goes off the air. It's week 3 of Monday Night Raw, and we are less than 2 weeks away from WrestleMania, and Raw kicks off with Evolution in the ring. Triple H is standing front and center, laughing at the thought of facing Booker T at WrestleMania. He states that as the man that carried this company all the way to WCW's downfall and beyond, he's not worried about facing one of their so-called main eventers. He says that he's faced tougher and more deserving men than Booker. Infuriated by these comments and the fact that Evolution laid them out last week, Booker T and Goldust rush down to the ring and they start brawling with Batista and Orton at ringside. In the midst of the chaos, Eric Bischoff's music hits and he walks out onto the stage and orders everybody to calm down. He says that if Booker and Goldust want to fight Evolution so badly, then they will get just that opportunity here tonight when they face Randy Orton and Batista in the main event. Triple H watches on with a grin on his face. He believes that Booker and Goldust don't stand a chance against his hand-picked underlings. It's main event time, and right before their match, Goldust is found laid out backstage. This was obviously an attack from Evolution, but despite the obvious disadvantage, Booker heads out to the ring to go it alone against Batista and Randy Orton. The majority of the match is one-sided, with Randy Orton's cunning tactics and Batista's brute strength taking control. Towards the end, when it looks like that all else has failed, Booker T starts mounting a comeback. He takes out Orton with a bookend. Batista comes in the ring to try to stop him, but Booker reverses and nails Batista with a bookend as well. Then, here comes Ric Flair. He goes down to the ring to stop this fury of offense by Booker, but his efforts are thwarted by Goldust. Goldust fought through the pain to help out his friend. He gets in the ring, nails Batista with a curtain call, while Booker hits a scissor kick on Randy Orton for the win. Triple H watches this all unfold from backstage, clearly unhappy with the result of tonight's match, and Raw goes off the air as Booker T and Goldust celebrate in the ring. It's the final episode of Raw before WrestleMania, and Booker T is standing in the ring ready to address the fans when he gets interrupted by Triple H. Triple H says that he still doesn't think that Booker deserves to be in the title match at Mania, and that beating 2 rookies last week doesn't prove anything. He says that if Booker really wants to prove himself worthy of a championship match, why doesn't he face a former champion? And he challenged him to a submission match against the 16-time world champion, Ric Flair, right here tonight. Without hesitation, Booker accepts and says that tonight he's going to shut Ric Flair up, and at WrestleMania he's going to shut up the game by taking his World Heavyweight Championship. Later on in the night, after having a brief conversation with his tag team partner Goldust, Booker T is then confronted by one Shawn Michaels. Shawn tells Booker that he respects his willingness to take on all of Evolution. He also offers some words of advice and encouragement when he tells Booker that the only way to overcome Evolution is to go right through him. And if Booker keeps doing what he's doing, there is no doubt that he will grab that brass ring. Booker and Shawn exchange a respectful stare, and Booker starts heading towards the arena. It's main event time, and it's exactly what you'd expect from a match featuring the Nature Boy Ric Flair. Rick takes full advantage of the lack of rules in this match by using underhanded tactics to get the upper hand on Booker T. But even after raking his eyes, hitting him with a low blow, and locking in the figure 4 leg lock around the ring post and in the center of the ring, Booker refuses to give up. The weeks of torment and people saying that he's not good enough to be a main event player fuels the fire within Booker as he starts mounting a comeback. He goes after the leg of Flair, and when he's good and worn down, Booker locks in Triple H's signature move, the Indian Deathlock, on the Nature Boy. Rick has no choice but to tap out, and Booker defeats the 16-time World Heavyweight Champion. But once again, Triple H sends a message by attacking Booker from behind. He opens up Booker with right hands, and Booker's chances of winning the world title look bleak. Triple H nails Booker with a pedigree, and Raw goes off the air with the world champion standing tall over his beaten down #1 contender. The wait is finally over. After everything that he's been through, Booker T will finally get his hands on Triple H. General Manager Eric Bischoff wants this match to top the main event, which is Brock Lesnar versus Kurt Angle, so he decides to make the match between Triple H and Booker T a no disqualification match. And after weeks of verbal and physical assaults by Triple H and Evolution, Booker's chance for redemption is finally here, and he does not waste any time in going after the cerebral assassin. The two throw everything at each other, utilizing chairs, kendo sticks, sledgehammers, steel steps, even announce tables to their advantage. It looks like it's all going to be over for Booker after Triple H nails him with a pedigree through the announce table. But it takes Triple H a while to get Booker back into the ring. He goes for the cover, and at the last possible second, Booker T kicks out. Triple H can't believe it, and he's now signaling for Ric Flair to come down to the ring. Rick comes into the ring with a pair of brass knuckles. As he's about to lay out Booker for good, Booker starts fighting back. He breaks free of Triple H's grip and takes out Ric Flair with a bookend. Flair rolls to the outside of the ring, and right when Booker gets back up to his feet, he's taken back down with another pedigree. 1, 2, no! Booker kicks out again. He won't quit, and Triple H has no idea what the hell he's gonna do next. He's got one chance, and he's going into the corner to pick up the sledgehammer. Booker stumbles up to his feet. Triple H charges him, but Booker reverses, and Triple H falls onto the sledgehammer. He's dazed, he's confused, and as he starts getting back up, Booker nails him with a scissor kick and wins the world title. The crowd goes absolutely nuts. His partner Goldust joins him in the ring, and it's a feel-good moment for Booker T. Through all the obstacles, Booker has finally done it. He has captured the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania.